Records you should gather together after a car accident. Getting hold of the right documents after you've been involved in a car accident could be vital to your case. The ultimate success of any car insurance or personal injury claim or lawsuit depends on your ability to prove who was at fault for the accident, and the nature of the losses and their extent. One of the best ways you can make your case stronger is to have the right documents that support every single point you make. During settlement negotiations, or when you're writing a demand letter, you need to prove that you've received medical treatment for injuries that you sustained during the accident and that the treatment cost you $10,000, for example. It would be better if you had copies of all of your medical records, detailing the treatment you received since the accident and the medical bill for the treatment. In other words, you need to be very clear about every single part of the damage that you are claiming you have incurred as a result of the accident. This is regardless of whether you are claiming for damage to your vehicle or personal injuries, loss of earnings, or anything you think is relevant. If you have a lot of proof, you may find negotiations a lot easier. Below you will find the records and documents you should do your best to ascertain after you've been involved in a car accident. The police report. If a police officer attended the scene of the accident, it is very likely that they would have prepared an incident/accident report. The report will detail information such as whether a traffic law was violated, statements from all passengers, drivers, and witnesses, the potential cause or causes of the car accident, anything the police officer observed. If you wish to obtain a copy of a police report, you will need to get in touch with the law enforcement agency that arrived at the scene of the accident. Once you have determined who this may be, you will then need to tell them when the accident occurred, the location, such as the street address or intersection, the names of all the drivers involved in the accident and/or the name and badge number of the police officer who attended the scene and wrote the report. Medical records. If you were injured in the car accident or you were simply checked out to make sure you were okay, you should get a copy of all of your medical records since your accident, as well as any bills that relate to your treatment. Be sure to include every stage of the medical care you received, such as the diagnosis, treatment, recommended treatment, medications you were prescribed, and any conclusions or opinions that a medical professional gave you. If you attended a large hospital or were seen by a widely known healthcare provider, you may need to ask the billing/records department for a copy of your records. Please be aware that it could be a few weeks before you get the documents you need. If your injuries were severe, you may need to request your medical records from emergency medical services such as a paramedic or ambulance company that's run by your local municipality. Ideally, you should get your hands on the documents that detail any emergency room treatment, admission to hospital, treatment that was provided by your doctor, prescriptions from the pharmacy, physical therapy records, any chiropractic care you received, and relevant information from other healthcare providers and healthy care specialists. Your proof of income. If you were unable to go to work because of the injuries you sustained in the car accident, you may be able to claim for your loss of earnings. However, you will need proof of your loss of earnings, and you will also have to show any documents that show how much money you missed out on. These documents include wage slips and tip records, proof of the damage to your car and proof of its value. If your car was damaged during the accident, you are likely to be entitled to some repairs to your vehicle. However, if you want to know how much you can claim for, you will need to know how much it will cost to repair your car. You may also need to know what the actual cash value of your vehicle was before your accident. Please read our article about a car's actual cash value for more information. You may need to let your insurance company estimate how much it would cost to get the damage to your car repaired. The good news is that you may be able to get 2 to 3 repair estimates and choose the right one for you. It's important that you always have a copy of the estimates with you, as the court may want to see them. An accident diary. Keeping an accident diary could prove to be very useful if you have made a note of all the relevant information. Write down how the accident occurred, your injuries, and how your injuries are impacting your life. Try to keep this record in date order so important details are not forgotten. You could potentially strengthen your case if you have this information. If you have sustained an injury as a result of a car accident that was another driver's fault, please speak to a personal injury lawyer as you may have a personal injury claim.